Brilliant. Can you join me on your mat? Bringing your toes together and taking your knees wide as the mat if you can, but obviously if you prefer to come in a little bit, then do that. So the knees pretty much as wide as our mat, our hands slightly further forward, and then on your exhale, just starting to ease the hips back towards the heels. So just easing our way back towards the heels. And we might decide to stay there. We might feel comfortable to lower the forearms. And we might feel okay to pop our forehead down towards the mat. And then I'd like a few breaths here. So we're going to start with our yoga breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose to start with. So finding that gentle inhale and just an easy exhale. Just bringing ourselves to Tuesday morning, to our next hour or so, just for ourselves. Notice now as you're inhaling in through the nose, into the tummy. Notice how the tummy lightly presses towards the inner thighs or the thighs. And then as you exhale, the tummy just softens away from the thighs or the inner thighs. You might have already closed your eyes, and if not, just close your eyes. And just notice how you're feeling this morning. We're going to work our way through, yes, a little bit of technique, but we're going to bring back the kindness. So we're going to set that intention now. Being kind to ourselves on the mat, not fussing if it's not exactly where we want or what we think it should be, but actually being kind to ourselves that we're here, we're working towards feeling great, feeling a little bit more flexible, a little bit more, have a bit more strength in the body. So we'll set that intention of kindness as we work towards those goals. And then I'd like 5 breaths where we inhale through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. So 5 breaths there. Inhaling into the tummy, into the waist, into the chest, and then exhaling chest all the way down to release the breath from the tummy. Notice which breath feels better for you, which is going to work this morning. So it can be either in through the nose, out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. So let's try that one more time. Then when you're ready, place your hands down, firm up your hands for me. And then on your next inhale, start to rise up. So we ease our way up. That might take a few breaths just to bring us out of our child pose. Now, we're going to bring our knees then just into hip width. So again, just take your time. And then our little repeat of child pose. And it's going to bring us into our striking cobra. So go as slowly as you like. We're just starting off. So we can sit back towards our child pose, inhale and round up into our cat. Good, and then on our next exhale, we're going to lengthen out through the spine and head back towards our child pose. And again, I'm going to stay off the heels, so anybody that needs to stay off the heels, you're with me. If you can go all the way back, then absolutely fine, and that feels good. So inhale, rounding, coming forward, maybe even taking the shoulders over the wrists. Opening the palms, lightly spreading the fingers, and then exhaling a lengthened back to head back. We'll do that again twice more, just in case you lose me. Inhaling as we round, drawing the front body towards the back body, feeling the stretch through the back. And then as you lift your head and lengthen through your spine, your exhale takes that long lengthened spine back towards the heels. You've got it. You've got it. Exactly like that one more time. So you're rounding, Scooping those abdominals in, lovely, rounding into a cat, so just a moving cat. And then notice as you lift your head, there's a length through the spine. So it's pretty much where we would be if we were in tabletop. We exhale our way back towards the heels. Yeah, now come with me, strike and cope. We make that a little bit bigger if we wanted. Oh, you stay where you are. Inhale, start to lift the sit bones away. So you're already in a cat as you lift off those heels. And then your exhale, you're bringing your body weight forward, the spine lengthens and your gaze is ahead. Yeah. So at that point, we're almost in our little chaturanga press-up position, aren't we? So then we start to round through the back and we can exhale our way back towards our child pose. Inhale again, lift the sit bones away from the heels, arc the body up and around. Notice a little bit of work for the tummy muscles. And then by the time the shoulders are over the wrists, the exhale brings you to that long, lengthened spine. Yeah. Good. And as we do that again twice more, we're going to add on to that if we wanted. So we're heading back towards our child pose on our exhale. It's up to you whether you want to bring the arms in each time or leave them where they are. Firm up the hands now and inhale as you rise all the way up, arcing into the back, stretching through the back body. And then on your exhale, pull your hips slightly forward, lift your chest and gaze ahead. Nobody has to do that. You could just be in the smaller version that we just did. Then from here, inhale, start to lift from the abdominals and exhale as we head all the way back into our child pose. Good, can you show me that one more time? So you're lifting those sit bones up and away from the heels, rounding. You're welcome back, Penny. And then on the exhale, can we lengthen through the spine, bring the shoulders over the wrist, pull the hips slightly forward, almost like our upward facing dog, but not quite as big. And then last time. This time we're going to come all the way back to 4-point kneeling. This is the last bit on our hands. Scoot the knees wide again and bring the toes together so the big toes just touch. Now our hips just ease back just a fraction. So you're off your hands so that the whole of your body weight is slightly off your hands. Now when you're ready, your right hand comes in, and on the inhale we're reaching up towards the left to come into thread of the needle. So reaching round to the left side and then pausing. Have a look to the tip of your left thumb. Create the space between the ears and the shoulders, the length and spine, you've got it. Good. Double check that you're not dropping your head because you want the head up so the shoulders and the spine are lovely and free as we do that. Now take another breath in here, and on your exhale start to unwind slowly, bringing your left hand all the way under the body, bending your right elbow as much or as little as feels good for you. Lower your left shoulder towards the ground, and maybe the side of the head just dips down to pretty much where your hand is on that right side. Good, take a breath in, and then on the exhale, come all the way back to your start. Now placing your left hand where your right hand is, lengthening out through the spine, sitting those hips back where you need. And then when you're ready, inhaling towards our right side. Yeah, so inhale round to the right. I'm just having a look, you know what you're doing. So you're inhaling up first, you're inhaling to your open position first. Yeah, I'll just show you again. So we're here first, looking up to the thumb. Looking up to the thumb. Penny, are you with me there? So looking up to the right thumb, softening the shoulders. Go pausing here as we let the body rotate round towards the right side. Now in theory, we're keeping those hips beautifully still and just finding that lovely twist and openness into the right side of the body. Now we need an extra in-breath to look up to that thumb if that's available to you, head in line with your spine. And then on your exhale, start to unwind slowly, coming through with your right arm towards the left side. You're there, reaching the left arm through, lowering your shoulder and lowering the side of your head if you can get there. Take another deep breath in, nothing forced, don't worry if you're not on the ground there with the back shoulder, with the right shoulder, and then slowly come all the way back to our start. Good, then we place the hands just back to our start position. We're going to budge our knees in to hip width, And on this first downward facing dog, I just want you to make it as big or small as the body is feeling. But we're not going to be too pedantic about this now. So when you're ready, tuck the toes under, exhale your way up into a downward facing dog, and then just wherever you've got to, start to pedal. So lower the left heel and then lower the right. Get some real energy into the back of the thigh, the calf area. Good. Just noting that we still want the space between the ears and the shoulders. Yeah, we still want length all the way through the spine. Yeah, some of us might be just in our cat, so we could still be in our cat if we prefer. Good, and then one more each side. And when you're ready, look towards your thumbs, and we're going to take a tiptoe forward. Now, not all of us will want to creep all the way to the front with the hands on the ground, so you're welcome to lift your hands. Fold again for me, so deep forward fold, softening through the knees where we need, letting the head hang. Taking a deep breath wide into the back of the body. And then exhale, see if we can fold a little bit further. Now some of us will have the hands on the thighs with the knees bent. Some of us will have the hands on the shins. And some will have our fingertips on the floor or even our palms to the ground. Here we can take a little rock back towards the heels. And we can take a little rock forward towards the balls of the feet. And then settle yourself so your feet are in parallel. The crown of your head is hanging down towards the ground, and then soften through the knees, let the body rest on your thighs. Take an inhale and an exhale, and then your next inhale, start to budge your knees forward, and just feel then how you can unravel. The hips travel forward, the spine slowly lengthens, all the way to standing. Really well done. Take a breath in, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Really well done, guys. I see you, lovely, slow, steady pace there. Inhale the arms up, soften through the knees and take a gentle swan dive down, just letting the arms come down with a really soft knee position. So we're back to where we were, resting our body on our thighs. Exhale as we forward fold. You can make that as big or small as feels good for you. And then inhale, rise again. So can we soften through the knees? Let the knees budge forward, the hips budge forward, and almost kind of ricochet our way up to standing. Inhale again, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Good, and then exhale again, soften through the knees and a gentle swan dive. So the arms are reaching away from us, but it's all fairly gentle and soft and light. When the body rests on the thighs, can we exhale as we come into our forward fold? Just notice now, are there hamstrings, the backs of the legs feeling a little bit kinder to us there? Inhale, soften the body towards the thighs. Good, exhale, then inhale, push down through the feet all the way back up to standing. One more exactly the same. Good, inhale the arms all the way up to the ceiling, doing beautifully, gang. Remember, the arms could be still at the side of the body, you don't have to reach the arms too high. Good, soften through the knees again, reach the arms out and away from you, and then tip over the edge, coming into that forward fold. As the body rests on the thighs, the hands can come towards the shins or the feet, your block or the ground, and we can exhale into a forward fold. Let your head hang. Now from here, can you place your right hand under your face? Yeah, so it could be the fingertips, you could have your block or your cushion, you're bending your right knee. You're placing your left hand just to your thigh, and we're exhaling to twist towards the left. If it feels comfortable for the neck and shoulders, you can lengthen the left arm all the way up to the ceiling and feel that lovely twist, just like we did with our thread of the needle. Bring the hand back towards the hip, and then exhale your way back into your forward fold. Let your head hang. Now our left hand comes under the face. We bend the left knee. We place the right hand onto the right hip, and we can rotate on the inhale round to our right side. Yeah, lovely. Good. If we wanted, then we can lengthen the arm all the way up and get that super twist. We can let the head hang down on this one. We can let the head go. Yeah, so it's fine just to let the head go. Just make sure your neck feels comfortable as you do that. Hand back to the hip when you're ready. Sorry, that was me chatting. And then forward fold, this is our last time. Body towards your thighs. Good. Inhale, press the knees forward, press the hips forward, and just ease our way up to our standing position. Really well done. Good, when you're ready, I'm just joining you. Right arm's going to come all the way up, clasp the right arm with the left hand, the right wrist with the left hand, and reach over towards our left side. Take that lovely long stretch through the left side of the body and then reach all the way back. Interlace your fingers and exhale as you look up to the backs of the hands. Can you reach your palms way up to the sky? Open across your chest, let the shoulders come with you. Inhale and exhale. Now clasp your left hand with your right wrist and exhale over. The shoulders can come with us. Now as we ease over towards our right side. Good, come all the way back to the centre. Again, interlace the fingers and see if we can press the hands back up towards the ceiling. Exhaling up. Shoulder people might be making it all a little bit less if you need. Good, release the hands and then bring the hands just slowly back to our prayer position, or to our prayer position. Inhale, the arms come down and all the way up. And exhale, we reach the arms all the way down. And back to prayer, long breath. Inhale, down and up. Backs of the hands, exhale, down and around. Try that breath pattern for me. Inhale, in through the nose, and then see if it feels better out through the nose as you exhale. In through the nose. And maybe out through the mouth feels good. One more time. Inhale the arms up. And exhale the arms down and around. Find yourself in prayer. Well done. So I'm going with you again. So I'm on this end of my mat and my right leg is here. Yeah, so it's going to be your right leg. Yeah, beep, beep, beep. Yeah. So we are going to turn towards the right side of our mat. So I'm going to be exactly with you. Yeah, so I'm you, you're me, we're together as one. So can we have a look down our feet? I don't know why I said that. Feet are in hip width. Yeah. And then what I want then is our left leg to take a long stride back, and that's going to bring us into our warrior 1 and 2 pretty much foot position. Yeah. So we can maybe have the hands on the hips, maybe the hands in prayer. We can put our weight through our right leg and then slide our left leg all the way back towards the back of the mat. So then as you look to your back foot, you pretty much want your heels in alignment and you want your back toes just facing on a little bit of an angle in towards the centre of the room. Yeah, so rather than a right angle, you just draw those toes in a little bit in towards the centre of the mat. Now double check for me that you've got a wide enough stance that your front knee is over your ankle. So if we're in that narrow stance, we tend to end up here. Yeah, so make sure the front knee is over the ankle and you've got a lovely wide stance. So this is about opening up into the inner thigh and the groin area. Just leave the upper body out for a moment. I'd like you to bring your body round to face the camera side. Yeah, so remember warrior 2, about opening up into the inner thighs, about opening up into both inner thighs and the groin. Yeah, so kind of thinking about that width across the front of the body here now. So let's double check. Right knee over the right ankle. Have a look at that. What I want you to do, if you feel like your right knee's rolling in a little bit, I'd like you, do you remember how we did this before? If we pull the right hip back a little bit, so just draw that right hip back, tightening the right buttock a fraction. So it just draws that knee a little bit wider. So use that right buttock, just easing back, pulling the hip back. I want the left leg now with the outside edge of the foot rooted to the ground. Yeah, and then I'd like you to broaden across your front body, so your hips, as if you're trying to widen the space between the hips. So drawing those hips wide. I'd like your left back of thigh heading back towards whatever's behind you. So you're easing that leg back just a little bit. Just give me a thumbs up if you can feel those legs engaged. Yes, yeah, I've got a thumbs up, brilliant. Okay, now the last thing we're going to do, we've done this before, we're going to pull the right foot as if we're trying to get the heel back towards that left heel. So as if we're not, it's not going anywhere, but draw it back. So can we feel all that work for the legs? So that's our warrior two leg position. Now we can add the arms in, we can smile, we know where we're going. So warrior two arms, shoulder height, if we like, a little bit lower, and we look down that middle finger of our right hand. So all that engagement of the legs doesn't change. We take 3 breaths, outside edge of the left foot to the ground, drawing that right hip back. Notice the work now as we open up into this front body as well, doing absolutely brilliantly. Inhale, exhale, out through the mouth, out through the nose, whichever's working for you this morning. Now we take that into our sun warrior. So now we're taking our left hand, the legs don't change position. I know it's really mean, but stay with me. Left hand to the thigh. Good. Firm up both feet, keep pulling that right heel back towards the left. And now inhale the left arm, or the right arm, sorry, all the way up to the ceiling. So this is a side bend. Yeah, it isn't a back bend where our chest is facing forward. It is the side, so we're in that lovely lateral position there. So we want to get that lovely side stretch. It's almost like we've just done that, isn't it? Yeah, good. Our last breath here. I know you're going to be getting a little bit mad with me. And then inhale. And as you exhale, just release the leg, particularly that right leg. Yeah, well done. Now from here, just nice and easy, we're going to bring our feet wide, turn out of the toes. We're going to a forward fold, but nothing too drastic. So hands on the hips, toes turn out at that 10 to 2, your heels are level, feet might have come in a little bit. Inhale, length. Good, I'll show you from the side. And as we exhale, we're tipping forward, not allowing those hips to go back. So I want you to find a place that you can feel. Hang on a minute, I've lost sensation in my buttock from that warrior two. Lengthen out through the spine and notice that inner thigh stretch. That's what I want you to feel. So if you haven't got that, with the lengthen back, just separate those feet a little bit wider. Now the same principle, on the outside edge of the foot, both feet anchored to the mat. Yeah, and now notice, imagine you're drawing those inner thighs a little bit closer together, and we notice what happens for, yes, the legs, but also those deep abdominals and our pelvic floor muscles. We might notice that. Now we can stay here if that feels better for us this morning, or we can place the hands to the outside edge of the thighs, lengthen through the spine. Take an inhale, and then on your exhale, let your head just start to lead the way down and slide your hands all the way down to your shins, yeah, maybe to your calves. And then some of us would like to bring the fingertips just in front, so kind of under your face. Yeah, so whichever feels better. Doesn't matter where you've got to on that one. Good, take a breath in. And as we exhale, see if we can fold forward a little bit further. Now, some of us will have a really good knee bend in this one. Some of us will just have the hands on the thighs. Some of us will come all the way down, and we might even reach the hands back towards the back edge of your mat. Now notice that inner thigh connection. Come back to that stretch on the inner thighs. Yes, the backs of the thighs as well. Now as we bend the knees, take a breath in, slide the hands to the outside edge of the thighs. I want you to keep bending your knees as you drop your tailbone down towards the ground, and now your knees are wide. Place your hands on your thighs and exhale as you round your way up to goddess pose. So now, I'll stay on the side. So again, tempting to roll those knees in. Yeah, so we're going to pull those knees back. Again, come to the back edge of those heels for me, of the foot. So the outside edge of the feet. Now staying here, just noticing those inner thighs wide, knees pulling back, tailbone down, chest is lifted. Option, inhale, don't change anything in the low body, reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus arms, draw the elbows wide and back, opening your chest, giving those shoulder blades a little bit of a squeeze, hold through. Inhale, exhale, lovely, well done, hold 2. Good, come back to the feet to support you. Draw that outside edge of the thigh back towards the back of you. And then inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And exhale the arms down. Now step towards the other end of your mat. Joy of joy, we do it again on the other side. So when you're ready, I promise everything else is nice after this. So first of all, can we just have our feet in hip width? Just notice that. Typically we come from downward facing dog, wouldn't we? Probably into warrior two, but from standing, we can do exactly the same. So now we're standing, aren't we, on the other leg, and we're striding back with our right. So we take that long stride back with our right, and we want that leg to land far enough back that we've got that lovely wide stance. I'm going to go back a little bit further. So with that wide position, we want to come into where the knee's over the ankle. Typically we can end up here, can't we? We haven't gone as far back, so we end up losing this knee alignment. Have a look, your heels are in alignment pretty much. Yeah, and your toes are on that little bit of a 10 to 2. Front knee over the ankle. Leave out the upper body for a moment, chest is lifted. Let's come back to everything that we did before. So now I want you to first of all engage that outside edge of the left buttock. So you're pulling that hip back. So I'll just show you from here. So it's that sense that we're drawing this hip back towards the midline of the body. So that prevents the knee from rolling in. So engaging through this side of the hip. Yeah, so we're drawing that back. The knee over the ankle. Now have a look at that. Then the outside edge of the back foot is grounded, so we're lifting that arch almost. Our right back of thigh heads back. Yeah, so you really engage that leg, so your hamstring pulling back behind you, and that creates that openness now into the hips. Yeah, widen across those hip bones. See if you can spread those hips a bit wider, bone to bone. We can't, obviously, in our mind. We're just trying to open up into this whole inner thigh area. So yes, leg strength for warrior two, but really about that openness into the inner thighs. Then let's double check where we are. Good, I want us to pull our front foot back towards the back foot, so that left leg engages, yeah? Then bring the arms up, look down that middle finger for me. 3 breaths here. Notice how good it feels with that solid base. Yeah, we've got all those muscles of the lower body engaged. Last breath. Inhale and exhale. If we need to budge out of it, there's our kindness. It's absolutely fine to do that. Now our right hand comes to the thigh. Palm faces up. Our side bend, our sun warrior, lengthen up through the front side of the body, and then see if we can look up towards the hand. Yeah, relax the shoulders. Keep that front knee over the ankle. Keep that openness into the inner thighs. You are absolutely fantastic, gang. Beautiful, beautiful. Last breath, absolutely superb. Spiral the arms down and then release. Now, we did do a little bit less on that side, didn't we, because there wasn't as much chat. But don't worry, we'll turn the feet in, bring the heels in just a fraction, hands on the hips, coming to our forward fold again. Inhale, and as we exhale, lengthen out towards the camera side or wherever you are. Some of us have got our knees bent, some of us are going to keep our legs straight. Tempting to sit the hips back here. So pull those hips right up and over the ankles. Have a look at yourself in the camera position there, so you'll see if your bottom's sitting back. Pull those hips forward. Find the little toes and the outside edge of the foot, lengthening out through the spine. And this time I want you to hug the front body towards the back body in this tabletop position. Take the hands behind you. Do you remember last week we did the hug of the thumbs? Do you remember that? So we're going to hug the thumbs, one on top of the other. Splay the fingers and then reach the arms up. Doesn't matter where you get to on that. So I'm just going to go a little bit of the way there. Just watch you're not pulling your thumbs out of their sockets. Good. Opening the chest. Take a breath in. See the exhale through the mouth. Take one more breath in, not sitting back. And out through the nose. Release both hands. Soften through the knees where you need. Lead with the crown of the head as you fold down towards the mat. Good, use that outside edge of the foot, the little toes. Bring the hands in under the face. Or bring the hands back towards the back of your mat. Good, take a couple of breaths here. Inhaling, let the head go. Good, exhaling, fold. Let gravity do a little bit of something there. Good, wonderful. All those options there. Now, when you're ready, bend your knees. Start to bring your hands back towards the outside edge of the ankle if you're there for me. Notice now the knees are wide. Notice the arches of the feet. Notice your little toes, the big toe supporting you. Place your hands onto your thighs. Maybe even widen those knees, pulling those hips back. Good, and then can we exhale our way up to standing, keeping the legs low. Yeah, good, well done. Good, goddess 2, we don't repeat this, I promise. If we want to, we stay here, relax the upper body, or we inhale the arms up, lengthening up, sending your tailbone down towards the ground rather than out. So drop that tailbone down, pull the knees wide, and then exhale to cactus arms, draw the elbows back and wide. Yeah, chest is lifted, gaze is ahead. This time pop your gaze up to the sky. Lift your breastbone without changing your lower back position. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, shoot the hands all the way up to the ceiling. And then exhale the arms down to relax. Beautiful. Now step all the way to the right side of your mat for me. Really well done, gang. Really well done. Good. Just a reminder of what and where we should be feeling. Now we're rolling down. Enjoy. Ground both feet there in hip width. Have a little gaze up towards the ceiling. And then nod your chin to chest on the next inhale. On the exhale, can we roll ourselves down? Enjoy that, folding over the legs. Again, say hello to those hamstrings and the calves. And then when you're ready, place both hands down, bend the knees. Left leg can come back, we find 4-point kneeling. And then the right leg can join the left. We can sit back just to where we started in our child pose. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. Now the legs are together or hip width apart. We might be up, we might be just in a cat, we might be in a variation of that. Good, inhale and exhale. If it's comfortable, we can reach the hands all the way to the front edge of the mat. Inhale and exhale. Good, then we're ready. When we're ready, can we bring our forearms down towards the mat? Can we start to slide the forearms and the chest forward like a little snake along the ground? Now can you trust yourself to bring your chest down and then slide your legs behind you? Now just before we do our other little sequence, legs together, little locust pose. Bring the arms to the side of the body. Inhale as we lift our chest, and we might decide to stay here. We can look a little bit ahead if we like. We could exhale to lift the arms and legs off the ground. We can take a breath in, looking ahead or looking down, depending on our neck. And we can exhale to slowly come down to recover. Good, we'll try that again, one more time. So we can inhale, lift the chest, decide if you want to stay here, arms just resting on the ground. You could exhale to the locust pose, bringing the legs up, lifting the arms. Yeah. Our gaze can be a little bit ahead or it can be down towards the ground if it's better for the neck. Good, notice the back line of the body, stretch the legs out. Give the shoulder blades a little bit of a squeeze on the inhale, out through the mouth on the exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale. Release down, inhaling and exhaling our way down towards the mat. Well done. Now while we're here, we'll drop our right foot, heel towards the bottom. Some of us are going to stay here if you know it's better for your knee. Others will reach round to get the top of the foot and bring the heel in. We're not going into bow pose. We're just going to use it as our prep for our Anjaneyasana. Our forehead rests on the hand. Our heel draws a little bit towards the bottom, or you're just holding that leg up, lowering the hips down. You'll still feel that little bit of a stretch through the front of the thigh. You might use your band. You might even just hook your hand to the back of your trousers, whichever feels better. Now, can we lightly press the pelvis into the mat, send the knee away to the back edge of your mat, lengthening out through the front of the thigh. If possible and the body's feeling okay, you can lift that knee just a fraction so the whole thigh and knee comes a little bit off the ground. Not everybody's going to do that. To help you, you can tuck the back toes so the left toes can tuck, and that can give you a little bit of height to lift the leg. Now, none of that do you have to do. Take a breath in, and then on the exhale, let the right leg lower down. Good, lengthen out the left, and then release the right leg. Yeah, well done, take a breath. Now we can change sides, so we can bring the right hand in front. Have a little juggle around of the back if you wanted. Right leg stretches out, left heel comes towards the bottom. Are you staying there? No? You can reach around to get the top of the foot. You could reach around to get the back of the trousers or the sock. You could hook your band around the ankle or foot, and you can bring yourself into that front of thigh stretch. Enjoy. Stretching out the right leg, making sure the upper body feels nice and relaxed. Good. Adapting for the knees, that's crucial. Yeah. So I'm just having a look at what you're doing, gang. So if I've come up, it's only just have a look at where we are there. Good, well done. A couple of breaths, inhaling and exhaling, sending the knee towards the other end of the mat, sending the hips down towards the mat, feeling a stretch down the front of the thigh, tuck the back toes, and we can lift that knee if we wanted. So as we tuck the back toes, the right leg can lengthen. That gives us a little bit of space to lift the leg. None of that is essential. Lower the leg down, release the right leg, and then release the left leg. Now take the hands under the shoulders, push ourselves all the way up, and then sit ourselves back just one more time into child pose. Now remember, you could be in cat instead of child pose. So now we're going to try our downward facing dog. We're going to have a few of our technical tips and hints to get into a really good position and feel what the down dog wants us to feel. And we take that into our low lunge and our crescent lunge, but I promise we're not going to stay for long, especially because it's Jill's birthday. So now we've got knees under the hips. We've got the hands then at one kind of half a hand distance forward, so not directly under the shoulder. If we're directly under the shoulder, we tend to then not be able to get up as high, and we're pivoting forward slightly, aren't we? So if we have the hands just that minute distance ahead, which would be exactly where we were if we were doing like a sun salutation anyway. Tuck the back toes, lengthening through the spine, but I want you to feel those sit bones, maybe just starting to head up towards the ceiling. So that's going to give us that space in the lower back. Guys, just remembering, we're not going to come up into that rounded back. That's because that's going to bring us here, isn't it? So really think about that length in the lower back. Now the palms lightly open, the fingers lightly open, and then last week we did the little pinch of the index finger and the thumb, didn't we? And that just engages a quite useful muscle around the thumb now to help support the wrist. So that's why we're doing it. Look at those inner elbows before we go anywhere. The inner elbows are facing forward. Yeah, so your bony elbow is facing back. Yeah? So your inner elbow facing forward, and your bony bit of your elbow facing back. Space between the ears and the shoulders. Then we're ready, inhale. And now as we exhale, we keep lifting those sit bones. We want to pull our hips back and up, don't we? So rather than just thinking up, see if we can pull ourselves back a little bit away from the hands. And now notice your head will hang between those inner elbows. Don't worry where the heels are at the moment or the knees. But I want you to lengthen through both sides of your waist. I want you to create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Grip with that little index finger and thumb. Give the mat a little bit of a pinch. That should help the wrists. Now we've talked about the outside edge of the armpit then, haven't we? Wrapping around to the back body. So it really gives that stability in the shoulders. Lovely. 3 breaths, looking good. Ask yourself, are your sit bones high up to the ceiling? Yeah, are your sit bones pressing high? Yeah, or are we rounding in the back? Yeah, looking good from here. Last breath. Yeah, so we're not worrying about the legs on this one. We'll have a look at the legs on our second one. Now, when you're ready, could you, if you have got the legs straight, bend the knees for me. Have a look at your right foot. Yeah, show me that right foot. Have a look at your right thumb. And then your right foot to your right thumb. Yeah. Good, now from here to get into our Anjaneyasana, our low lunge, we're going to typically take that left leg back, So now we're on the ball of the foot, we can lower the back knee down. So the back knee pops down towards the mat. You could use your cushion. Good, and then again we want to have a look at that knee alignment. As we come up, we want the knee over the ankle, so that's crucial. And then we've got all the little things that we put in place with our Warrior 2. I want the shoulders directly over the hips. Now, it's really tempting to think coming forward is going to be better, but actually we get more engagement of our thigh muscle when we're upright. I want the front foot to pull back towards the back of the mat, just like we did with our Warrior 2. And again, we can have that same positioning where we pull that outside edge of the thigh back towards the midline of the body, and this knee isn't going to move then, it's not going to roll in at all. We've got our back toes tucked, but we want to think of the front thigh pulling forward, so that your left thigh pulling slightly forward. Bring the hands to prayer, that's all I want you to do now. So you're pressing the ball of the foot lightly in towards the mat. You're pulling your right foot back towards the back of the mat, and you're pulling your left thigh slightly forward as you lift your chest. Good. From here, we'll reach the arms all the way up, so we can inhale the arms all the way up to the sky, and then bring our palms together, resting our thumbs and fingers together. And then we add in that upper body connection, don't we? So we're going to hug the front of the body in towards the back body. We're going to pull the front ribs lightly in, but we're going to allow the back shoulders just to lift a fraction. And that gives us a really lovely stretch into the back. Yeah? So yes, we've got the space between the ears and the shoulders, but imagine your bra line pulling up towards the ceiling. Inhale, bring the hands all the way down. That's tiring. Good, and then from here we take a little breather. To go straight into our crescent lunge, we're going to bring our back knee in just a fraction. So maybe 0.5 centimetre. Now, can we come up? So we're going to lift the back knee, and we're going to inhale our way up to our crescent lunge. Now we're stretching out that back heel, so the back leg is straight. Your hamstrings are heading back towards the wall behind you. Your front knee over your ankle. Yeah, bring your hands to prayer. All the same, shoulders are over the hips, we are so nearly there. Inhale the arms over the head if you wanted, and again we scoop the front body in, so we hug the tummy muscles in, we hug the front ribs in, but we allow the back of the shoulders just to lift that fraction. Yeah, good, we're staying for a single breath here. Inhale, out through the mouth on the exhale. Bring the hands to prayer. Place the hands either side of your front foot, and then slide your right leg back to come all the way back into child pose. Oh my goodness, anybody else found that really hard? Or is it just me? Good, it's not just me. That's killing, isn't it? It's killing when we do it actually properly. So, good to mix and match. That's all I can say. So let's come back to our 4-point kneeling. Knees over the hips. No, knees under the hips. Hands then slightly further forward. Let's add the leg bit into our downward facing dog. Take your time, and like I promised, after this, everything is lovely. We're tucking the toes under, take a breath in. And then on our exhale, length through the spine, pull your hips up and back. Your inner elbows facing forward, space between the ears and the shoulders, length from your hips to your ribs, your ears to your shoulders. Have a look at both feet. Are they pretty much hip width apart? You can then bend the knees a little bit and maybe press your heels towards the ground without changing anything in your pelvis. Yeah, good. Lengthening out, crown of the head down towards the mat as you pull your spine all the way up to the sky. Really well done. Bend both knees if you did manage to straighten the legs there. Look to your left thumb and then take your left foot all the way through to join your foot. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, I'll do it with you. That's fine. I don't need to move actually, do I? So now we've got our left foot in front. We've got our back knee behind. Good. Have a look, the front knee is over the ankle already. Yeah, just to check that foot's facing forward. We've got to reach a little lengthening back of that right leg, haven't we? And then when we're ready, we can come up to prayer. So then we knit those shoulders over the hips. So So we're lifting right up and away from the thigh. That front knee, making sure we've got that straight line of the shin. Good. And then if we can, we're pulling that left foot back towards the back of the mat, just like we did in our Warrior Two. So we engage that foot. We're pulling that outside edge of our left hip back towards the back, the midline of the body. So we're rolling it back, we're drawing it back. And now we're pulling our right thigh forward as we lift the chest. When you're ready, if we wanted, we reach the arms up. So we can inhale the arms over the head. And this is where it's tempting to lose everything, isn't it, here? So we're going to hug the front body into the back body. We're going to allow the shoulders to soften. We're going to pull the front ribs in, but then we're going to allow the back of the shoulders to lift just a fraction to get that really lovely sense of length. Go, bring the hands down to the ground, either side of our left foot. Well done on that. Scoot the back knee in just a fraction and pause. Can we come all the way up to a crescent lunge? I know we can. So we'll take a breath in, firm up both feet, and then when we're ready, exhale our way up to our crescent lunge. Our front knee in exactly the same position. Now our back leg extends, pull your shoulders back over your hips for me. Double check that front knee. I can see front knees have changed position. So double check that front knee is over the ankle. Pull that left hip back towards the midline of the body. Pull the front ribs in. Good, reach the arms all the way up for a single breath. Hug those front ribs in, hug the front body in. Let the back shoulders lift. Inhale. Press the back heel away and the back thigh away on the exhale. And then when you're ready, release the hands. Bring your hands either side of your front foot. Lower your back knee. And then slide your left leg back to join the right. And sit back. Very, very well done. So our Warrior Two and our Sun Warrior, we've got those in the bag, haven't we now? Our Anjanasana, our low lunge, and our crescent lunge, our downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Good, now when you're ready, grab your block or cushion and just come to enjoy. We're not going to have anything particular about this, we're just going to enjoy. So on your block, and I'm with you, we can either have both legs out if that feels better, just a lovely little sequence now on the mat. So a side stretch and a fold, our little gate post, and we've got our butterfly position as well. So right up on the sit bones, if it's comfortable, your right heel towards your groin, your left leg stretching out. And then just find the length through the spine. Really well done. Good, and then just when you're ready, let's just turn the body away from our right thigh just to start with, and then we'll take a breath in, nod the chin towards the chest, relaxed foot, relaxed leg, knees can be bent, and we can exhale our way over our left side. Now it might be that we just get a little bit of the way, some of us will go further down to get the body towards the thigh. We might take a few breaths here, just a few breaths, easing forward. Noticing the right side of the body is probably getting quite a good stretch. You might feel a little bit of work into that outer thigh on our right side, and we might feel the hamstring on the left. Good, inhale and see if on the exhale you can fold just that little bit further, but feeling really comfortable as we do this. Try the breath with the inhale through the nose and out through the nose. And see how it feels if you want to try out through the mouth. Which kind of works better for you. Yeah, then we're ready. We'll take an inhale just to weave our way back to our start position. Yeah, and then we're going to roll. We can roll off our block and just come back to it. Right hand comes out to the right, roll onto your right thigh. And then we can inhale our way up into our gate post. Look back towards our right hand and our right foot. And then we can exhale our way down just to find ourselves back on your block. Did you get back onto your block? I hope so. Good, and then we can bring the soles of the feet together. Now, some of us will like to have the feet further away. Some of us will bring our heels a little bit closer into our bottom. And then I'd like you to place your elbows just lightly on the inside of your thighs and knee, and just open the legs a little bit more towards the mat. Some of us like to take hold of the big toes, so we can do that. We could take hold of the whole of the foot, interlacing the fingers and cupping the toes. We can take a little bit of a lean forward as well if we like. Good, inhale and exhale. Well done. Last breath here. And then when you're ready, scooting out our right leg and drawing in our left. Good, finding ourselves in a comfy position and just enjoying that. When you're ready, we'll turn towards our right side. Take a breath in as we nod the chin to chest, maybe noticing our right thigh, left thigh heading down towards the mat. And we can exhale over the right side, so easing our way over. And again, we might go a little bit of the way, just taking note of the left side of the body, the left hip, maybe that left inner thigh area. And noticing now with our next few breaths, can we get the body just maybe to stretch out a little bit more, maybe a little closer to the right thigh, maybe not. Using the breath now, when you're ready, inhaling our way back up to our seated position. And then we're placing our left hand down. So using the left hand as we roll off to our left thigh. Sweep the right arm all the way up. As we lift the hips, we can inhale to look back to our left hand and our left foot. And then we can exhale to lower the hips down, bringing ourselves back to our block, or thereabouts. Well done. Good, again we'll bring the soles of the feet together. Good, and again we'll press the elbows to the inside of the thigh. I'll show you from the side. So we're using the arms just to open the knees a little bit wider to the side, and we're allowing ourselves then to lean slightly forward. Yeah, and if we're rounding, it's not the end of the world today, but if we can get a little bit of length through the spine, that's brilliant too. Inhale and exhale. Good, our last breath here. Just using the body, using the arms just to support or create a little bit of extra work for the legs. And then we'll slowly release, draw the legs in, and then stretch out your right leg for me and bring your left foot onto your right thigh. And don't hesitate to do this on the mat if you prefer. If we're right up on our sit bones, off our block and cushion now, yeah, we might feel quite a good opening into the hip area, the buttock area, might we? So we've got our left foot, I'll go with you, you've got your left foot onto your right body of thigh, yeah? And you might decide, well, actually today, I'm going to stay with this is better for me, yeah? I'm going to be up on the sit bones just here and opening that left knee a little bit, mindful of the knees. If we wanted, we reach the hands behind us, we slide our right foot in, we lift the hips and place our bottom a bit closer towards our heel. We lift the chest, we lift the gaze, and we want to find that quite good stretch into that outer thigh and buttock area. It's done a fair bit of work for us today, hasn't it? That outer thigh and glute area. Stabilising us and stabilising the front leg in particular. Notice how we've got all that work in our front leg as well. With our warrior, our sun warrior, and our lunges. So let's see if we can ease a little bit towards the left and then ease a little bit towards the right. Absolutely fine to be on the mat doing our reclining pigeon instead. Good, so easing over to the left and then easing over to the right. Just changing that stretch just slightly as we go. Last one each way. We're nearly there. Good. Any issues through the knees obviously will adapt and change. Now plant the right foot down, lift your hips, pull yourself back. Good, and then just give the legs a little shake out. And then can we do the same to the other side? So we've got our left leg straight, our right foot's going to come onto our left thigh, and if we're sitting right up on those sit bones, opening the right knee to the right, you might decide, well actually, I'm happy here. This is giving me a really good stretch, I don't need to do any more. I'm enjoying that, I can open my right thigh a little bit to the right, my right knee a little bit to the right, and my knees isn't compromised. If we wanted, we can take the hands behind us, we slide the left foot in so the foot comes to the floor, and then we bring our hips a bit closer towards our left foot. Yeah. So right knee out to the right, well done. Good, chest is lifted, gaze is ahead. Try not to lose your neck position here. And inhale and exhale, doing absolutely beautifully, guys. So inhaling and exhaling. Let's have 2 more breaths, just as we are, opening up into that hip area. Good, backing off again, just coming back to that kindness if we need. Coming over to the right, and then coming over to the left. Notice if that just changes anything. Over to right, and over to the left. Still keeping the stretch, so still keeping your chest fairly close to the thigh. And now last time, over towards our left side. Good, from here we could lift the hips, pull ourselves back, stretch out our left leg, stretch out both legs, give the legs a little shake out, and then reach over towards our toes. Let your head hang. Come all the way back up, take a breath in, and then exhale, forward fold. Just like we did to start with in standing. Good, one more time. Easing our way ahead. And then all the way back. Good, one last time and we'll stay reaching over the legs. Just folding, stretching. Maybe take hold of the ankles, maybe have the hands on the ground. Some of us will interlace the fingers, the soles of the feet. Take the breath wide into your back, wide into your ribs. Good, inhaling and exhaling. And as we release the hands, we can use the hands just to ease our way back and out of that stretch. Fingertips behind us, just before we come to sitting, lift your chest, lift your gaze, open wide across your collarbone, inhale, and exhale, and then release. So we're coming to our breath practice, a little bit of meditation, just using our breath practice. So if anybody needs to go, then that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, you can do it lying, you can do it sitting. I'm going to go up against my wall. I've been doing the last couple of weeks, which is quite handy. You might also grab your block and a jumper, because this is about just keeping lovely and comfortable now. I'm just going to knock these lights out, just so it's not as glaring. Get my blanket ready. So wherever you're going to be the most comfortable, and just come to sitting. I'm gonna have my blanket already round me like that. Yeah. So whatever feels good for you. I'm up against the wall. You could be up against your sofa. You could be lying. You could be on your sofa. Whichever feels good. Just make sure you've got enough space in the body for the breath. That's all we're focusing on, isn't it? So then we can close our eyes, make sure we're really comfortable, and don't hesitate just to move out of your position whenever you like. And wherever we are, notice we've got a little bit of length through the spine. I'm going to start our breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And straight in to our Ujjayi breath. So the slight restriction at the back of the nose that gives us that exhaling, as if we're trying to breathe onto a mirror and steam up a mirror, but without using our mouth. And it's the same on the inhale, that same restriction as we breathe in. So it kind of sounds of a wave, or sometimes they say a lion in the distance, something like that. Just helps us slow down the breath. Breathing into the tummy, the waist and the chest. And breathing out chest, waist, tummy. Filling up from the bottom to the top. And see if we can stay with our Ujjayi breath. Don't worry if it keeps disappearing and comes back in, it's absolutely fine. We're going to try a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. So it would, if you're with me, it would be inhale 1, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Filling up from the tummy and exhaling chest, waist, and tummy. Four count inhale. 4 count exhale. Soften your face. Soften your shoulders. Keep your Ujjayi breath, and this time 4 count inhale, 6 count exhale. Find space for your breath. One more time. And come back to your own breath. It could be in and out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Whatever works. Then slowly we'll open our eyes and make our way down to Shavasana, just for our last part of our class this morning. So bring yourself, if you're not already, down to lying. Make sure again you've got everything you need, your props, your extra jumpers, cushions, extra blankets if we wanted. And bring yourself to Shavasana. 5 minutes of total relaxation. Notice the back of your head, your cushion, rock or mat. Your arms a little bit wider than the mat. Shoulders softening. Back of the pelvis Maybe you've got the knees bent and the knees are together. Maybe you've got your heels a little bit, feet a little bit wider, and your toes just drifting out to the right and the left. And then close your eyes. Soften your face, your shoulders. Let your body settle. And take these few minutes just to help us reduce any stress, any anxiety, any worries. We're going to use it to remind ourselves of our intention. Kindness, we bring back kind to ourselves first, so we can be kind to others. And generally, as women, we tend to be giving a lot, not necessarily that we want to be receiving, but sometimes it's good to fill up our own buckets of joy, peace. Just a gentle breath, notice that. Notice your own breath's rhythm. Notice the stillness of yourself on that. And it's likely to be maybe the quietest will be today. So we're going to enjoy that. Noticing your right sole of foot, your toes, on top of your foot, your right ankle, your right knee and right hip. Inhale and exhale. Notice your tummy rising and falling, softening. The centre of your chest, your breastbone, and the centre of your forehead. Notice, soften and let go. Doing nothing. Gifting ourselves nothing to do. Notice the left sole of your foot, your toes, top of your foot, your ankle, your left knee, your left hip. Notice again the tummy, the centre of your chest around your breastbone. Notice the centre of your forehead. Inhale, a soft exhale. Doing nothing. Everything softening, everything relaxing. Notice your right hip, and your right leg, your left hip, your left leg. Inhale and exhale, noticing your lower body. Notice your right shoulder, your right elbow, your right wrist, your right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, your palm. Notice the right side of your body, right arm, and your right leg. Notice your left shoulder, your left elbow, your left wrist, your left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, your palm. Inhale and exhale, notice your left arm, your left leg, notice the left side of your body. Inhale and exhale. Notice again the centre of your forehead. Let go of any tension. Notice your temples, your eyebrows, your eyelids, your eyelashes, your cheeks, your nose, the space between your nose and your lip. Notice your lips together. Notice your jaw coming down to your chin. And release any tension around your neck, front and back. Notice the whole of your scalp, from your forehead, all the way over the back of the head to the nape of your neck. Notice both ears. And then notice any background noise, the radio, traffic, music, birds, somebody in your room, your music. Notice your mind, still and quiet. Notice the whole body and the mind, and the soles, the feet, all the way up to the top of the head. As one with our mind, quiet and still. Notice the whole of you, mind and body. Inhale and softly exhale. Five clearing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. They can be quite big, deep. Back to your normal breath. Notice the stillness, the peaceful, calm body and mind. And we can slowly either make our way up to sitting or stay here for a little bit longer, whichever's good for you. You could bring the knees in and the legs over to one side. we're ready, we can maybe bring our arms up, bring our thumbs to rest on our forehead of knowledge and wisdom. To our lips, the kind words to ourselves today, to ourselves, as well as others. And then to our heart, for gratitude. Namaste.